Hello, look who's back with a very fuzzy hair, but it's it's still hanging in there. I wanted to come and say hello. I wanted to come and just share a couple of golden nuggets of visibility information. So if you are watching this on the replay or whether you're watching this live and you missed out on last night's webinar, I think you did miss out, but don't worry. If you're on the Visibility Vibes Tribes list, so you'll get an email from me once in a blue moon, quite literally, you'll see that I have posted the replay there for you. But if you're not, like Jasminka and a couple of others in this group who've requested the replay, just type ABC either under this post or the other post that talks about this, and I will send it to you through my Queen of Being Seen page. I'll send you the link for the replay, which has got another 6 days left, if I remember rightly, because it was a part 1 and there's going to be a part 2 next Thursday. There's actually 3 parts to this. This is all about helping you to be really clear and clarifying your messaging, which is interesting because the title of this Facebook Live is called Self-Confidence, Communication and Some Friday Musings. So I thought I would take the opportunity to share these little nuggets with you. So for those of you that have joined the group in the last year or so, you will know that as you join the group, I ask you 3 questions. I don't ask you them to be an idiot. And one of those questions I ask you is about what you feel you need help with. And the reason that I do that, it means that I can come on and do things like this, live with you, to answer real proper questions, challenges that you might sometimes have, regardless of whether there's a pandemic on or not. So here's what I would say to the latest question or statement that was made. So somebody said that they wanted help with more confidence and more communication. Or self-confidence, and communication. And they actually tied those 2 together. So here's what I want to say, controversial or not, quite often we become confident in how we communicate when we are crystal clear on what we want to communicate about. Now, this doesn't mean that you don't know what you're talking about. It doesn't mean that you don't know what you're saying. It doesn't mean that you're not articulate. It doesn't mean that you don't know what you're talking about. What it does mean is sometimes when we get into the passionate area of our business, because let's face it, we all love what we do. Many of us live, breathe, eat and sleep this. And yes, we do other things and we pause and we relax and we reflect and do everything else in the meantime. But ultimately, we love what we do. Sorry, my fridge or freezer was making a really weird noise then. So we love what we do. As you can see, I'm in my kitchen. So because we love what we do so much, it matters to us. And the moment we go to step on a stage or the front of a room or do a presentation or a 60-second pitch or a video or a Facebook Live, those words can elude us. Not because you don't know what you're talking about, not even because you're not confident, but just because it matters so much to us. We're really passionate. And what happens is, like any energy, like any emotion, the passion boils up and bubbles up in us. And before we know it, we're like, can't get our words out, So one of the things that I would say is, in order to become an even more confident communicator and be self-confident in that communication, get really crystal clear on what it is you want to communicate. I could not have done this Facebook Live if I just rocked up and tried to blag it. And even though it might seem that there's not a structure, I didn't start with what you're going to learn in this Facebook Live is, there is still a structure. I still have notes, I still have things written down that I definitely want to share with you. I'm going to take a sip of water. So actually that's mint tea, cold mint tea. So when you want to communicate the work you do, the value you add, what you do in the world, what you bring to the world, the difference that you make, when you are crystal clear on that, then communication doesn't really become an issue and the self-confidence rockets. And the reason why it's important for you to have self-confidence that rockets, it means that if you are confident when you are conveying your information, your clients and the ones that haven't met you just yet have confidence in, not in you as a person, in what you do. They then start to realise that the thing that you do, the service that you provide, the product that you sell could actually work for them. Do you know how juicy and yummy a feeling that is when somebody has that realisation? I know that I've definitely gone through that a few times in my life. Oh my gosh, this is actually working. This is actually going to work. So you want to put that confidence in them. And I did talk about this last night on the webinar. The webinar, by the way, I ask you, it's like littered with questions all the way through that I ask you. And if you listen back to it, which I know some of you have already, and answer those questions, you will get a kind of laser focus, a clarity that will allow you off the bat, like literally as soon as you finish watching, to go out and create a video, to do a Facebook Live, to write a blog post, to prepare a talk, because you'll have those bits percolating in your brain. They are like the foundations, and they are, for me, very easy to train out and teach, and easy for you guys to drink up, to eat up, to go out and emulate. So that's why I shared it in there last night. So again, if you want a copy of that, just type in ABC in the comments below and you'll get that. So hopefully helpful. One of the things on my Friday musing that I wanted to talk about, last week I asked, how are you doing? Like, how are you doing really? And I put some love hearts, different colour love hearts that you could talk about how you are. And I have to say today, I'm mainly kind of green, blue, which is okay, which is great. I want to check in with you guys and know how you're doing, because I know that some days you can feel great and other days you might not feel so great, or you just might feel differently than you did the day before. There's no stone left unturned. But one of the things that I wanted to share quite openly and vulnerably, there was a point of yesterday where I wasn't feeling okay. And it's because of this. So I'm in this new flat, I'm in a ground floor flat. There's a lot of noise that comes from upstairs, which is fine in the daytime. But the night before, they had been on a phone call from about 11:30 at night till 2 o'clock in the morning. It was really loud. I could hear the voice so clearly. I could hear the words, even though it was in a different language. I could hear each word, and I couldn't get to sleep, which meant when I got up the next morning, I was pretty tired. And there's one thing about me. If I'm tired, I either can't get my words out, I cry at anything for no good reason, and I feel really stressed, really tightly wound up like a coil. So I woke up yesterday at the same time, just like not having had anywhere near enough sleep, like 5 hours if that, not having had anywhere in near enough sleep, and knowing that I wanted to sleep well because I was going to be doing this webinar quite late into the evening. Purposely picked 8:30 because I wanted everyone to do their clapping and stuff for the NHS, and then do a bit of a twilight piece. So I was really tired and I wanted to go to sleep, but of course now it's the daytime, and now for a lot of people the kids are obviously at home, and there's a lot of daytime noise, whether it's music or kids or something like that. And I had stuff that I needed to do and I couldn't get to sleep, and I didn't want it to get in the way, but I was very conscious that by about 6:30, so I attended a webinar, I had an accountability buddy that I speak to and called. I made a couple of phone calls, things like that. Just did the normal stuff, did some work. And by about 6:30 time, I was just really tearful. I wasn't feeling great. And every part of you says, oh, well, take care of yourself and why don't you cancel and all that kind of stuff. Oh, interesting. My computer tells me people are commenting, but I can't see them yet. Oh, there they are. Hey, good to see you too as well, my lovely. So I was all tearful. How can you go on and do a webinar when you feel really tearful and low? And because it was getting into the evening, I didn't want to blast out music or anything like that. I could have done it in my headphones, but I wasn't feeling great. Physically, I wasn't feeling great. I don't think I've been going out and getting enough vitamin D, which is something that I would highly recommend. Get a lot of sleep. even if it's not a super sunny day, go outside, get as much vitamin D as you can, or as we all can. So when it came to getting ready for the time for the webinar, I could have been like easily forgiven for saying, sorry everyone, I'm not going to do it, I don't feel too great, all the emails have gone out, we're going live in an hour, then we're going live now and all of that, and I could have cancelled it, but I didn't. And I'm glad I didn't, because I got to do what I love. And that meant being able to share, spread ripples far and wide, not from me, but help you in how you do that, how you get your stuff out there. And it was a lovely bunch, some really great questions that you guys asked that were on there as well. So thank you so much for that. And just to hear your voices, I just felt really energized. So even though it felt like it could have been a long day, it was just completely beautiful. So for that, I want to say thank you. Now, a couple of other things were kind of like tilling over in my mind in the day, and I thought I would share them with you. These are where the Friday musings come in, because and I had this conversation with somebody that I'm doing a collaboration with this morning. If anyone else tells me to pivot, I will pivot my finger over their lips to make them be quiet. Let's just say, and I'm putting that politely. I get it. But here's the thing, there are people in different lays with different challenges. Personally, in the last 48 hours, I've had news of a couple of friends, one who has lost her mother, one who has lost her aunt, and subsequently the aunt's husband. It's really hard to keep throwing glitter over everything when my friends, they might be school friends and things like that, are feeling in pain. So at the same time as being positive, high vibrational, I want you all to remember to meet people where they are too. Have some empathy, not sympathy, but empathy. Have some understanding for where different people are at different times. There's nothing non-spiritual about that. There's nothing low vibrational about that. This is having compassion for our fellow humans. And people are talking a lot about what to do in business and how to pivot, and that's fine. Knock yourselves out with all of that. I really believe, and especially in this group, many of you are healers. Many of you are spiritual. Many of you have got a gift that you can help people. You teach elements of personal development, self-development, financial development, health development. You help people with their mentality, their skills, as well as things that I know many of you do in business as well as out of business. You help people write books. You guys have got skills, as my 17-year-old nephew would say, you got skills. And because you've got those skills, I don't want you to sit in a panic now or overthinking anything or feeling like you have to switch off because you don't feel in flow. Thinking about what happens next after this, after this pandemic is over, after life goes, I'm doing air quotes, goes back to normal, because it might not be the same again. In some respects, I hope it isn't. I hope that we come out of this different. But the thing that is in my belly, in my gut, in my heart, to tell you as many times as you can hear it is, each and every one of you can make an absolute difference to somebody's life right now. And for many of you, you can make a difference to a lot of people's lives right now. And I want you to breathe that in. I don't want you to sit and wait. I don't want you to think, well, it's bad form to sell my products, my services, my book, my online course, my methods, my accreditation program, whatever the thing is that you have to sell. People need them now, and people are still buying, and they're buying a lot. What they're doing is looking at what they need right now. And I want you guys to be one of those people that's in front of them, not because you can sell something, not because you can make them some, make yourself some money, although that would be great to keep that flowing, but because I know you have got the skills, you have got the knowledge, and you have got the ability to really make a difference in people's lives, whether it's them, their pets, their children, their house, their health, their wealth, or anything else like that. So, go out there, be visible, go forth, be seen, go forth and be heard. Go forth and be confident and authentic, but most of all, go out there and be visible. I know you can do this. I know you've got this. Thank you so much for watching. The final thing that I want to say is there are a few people that are new to Zoom. This isn't a technical guide or anything else like that. I've literally just finished putting some stuff together because of a collaboration that I'm doing with somebody next week. So I wanted to be able to offer it to you guys. So if you're watching this video and you're like, oh, what's this infographic Jenny's talking about? I'm not even going to ask you for like your email address or anything else like that. Just type the word Zoom underneath, and what I'll do is I'll send you the graphic. I'm not sure how it will look if I try and post it in the comments here. I can give that a go, but if not, I can just send you it. It's like a picture graphic. You can save it to your computer, you can refer to it, and my hope is that it will help you to shine and get out there without feeling like you've got to be some sort of TV or news presenter. So thank you so much. I can see some comments coming through now, which is always reassuring. So let's have a look. So Georgina's given me some information on protect my gates and my senses and stuff like that. So I'll have a read of that in a second. So thank you for that. Love my kitchen. I love my kitchen. I don't know how it's going to be when it's actually got furniture in it, Amanda. I really love it. I love the light on it. And one of the things that I always talk about, like either to clients or when we talk about video, I always say to people, there are 3 places in your house, one like the outside in the garden or at the front door or the back door or wherever. There will be 3 places in your house that you will be able to create really great videos from. And it's like one of the first things that I did without even consciously thinking about it in this house is thought, right, if I'm having a webinar or doing a video, where can I make a video from? So even though it's quite a dark day, this video isn't too bad. But guess what? I've got undercover lighting here. Not the best angle to do it at. But if I'm streaming from my computer, which is always really rubbish lighting, always better from a phone, always, I just flick that on, and even though the window's behind me, whew, hey presto, it's sorted. So I'm loving it. So thank you for the kitchen, love. Anyway, I see that some of you hopped off, and all of that. You said sorry. Why are you saying sorry? What, for liking my kitchen? What, you don't like me, but you like my kitchen? No, that's fine. So yeah, it's a great background. I love it. It's whites and greys, and it's really weird. Whites and greys with little bits of red. So my message to all of you, we've been making these mugs for ages, haven't we, in the UK? So the whole premise of this is keep calm and carry on. And you know what? Know that it's okay that if you can't carry on and that you need a break, to down tools and take the break. If you need a nap, to go lay your head down and have a nap. If you need to go for a walk, I know we're not supposed to be kind of, mixing and whatever else, but at least walk around the block, walk around where you live, get some vitamin D on your skin. It's really important. We have a choice in being able to look after ourselves, being safe in the process, but looking after ourselves. And I really want you to be able to do that. No, I started laughing and I thought you put me off. Amanda, I put myself off very easily. I put myself off more than anyone else does, but thank you. Thank you for saying that. I was like, oh my gosh, what did I say? So thank you for watching, hopefully helpful. If you want a copy of last night's replay and you're not on the email list, just type in ABC and you'll get that, part 1, part 2 coming next week. And if you would like a look at my infographic, by all means, type the word Zoom in. And I'll be happy to share that as well. The one thing that I will say is I've looked at it and I've spell checked it, but I know the minute that I've hit published that there'll be loads of typos on it. So if you do spot any typos, by all means, please send me a message and say, Jenny, I'll get someone else to sense check it later. But here I am on my own, just cracking on with stuff. So anyway, So much love to you all. Thank you, Amanda. Yeah, we need to catch up soon. I know things are kind of crazy busy for you at the moment and you're like rocking it out there in the free world. So yeah, definitely speak to you soon and see you as soon as this is all over, eh? Thank you so much for watching. If you've got other friends in here that are vibers that you are like, oh, I think you should look at this, even if you just want to check out my kitchen, then tag them in. Thank you for watching. Love to you all. See you later. Bye for now.